time to get going.
Oh, Reen!
Morning, Elliot.
Good morning. Are you heading to school now too?
Sure. It's getting late though, so we might need to pick up the pace a little.
No problem. I'm guessing everyone else left already, huh?
I think so. I'm not sensing anyone. Gaius in particular is probably long gone by now.
Oh, okay then. He's not sensing anyone?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning! Are you two on your way to school?
Yeah, come on, Emma. We're going to be Hey, wait for me, Elisa. We'll see you in class.
I never would have guessed she'd hold a grudge this long. She knows it was just an accident, right? She has to. Can't believe she'd be so sensitive.
No kidding. She's not even giving me a chance to apologize to her.
Well, as long as you keep trying, I'm sure she'll understand. Eventually. Class 7's got enough tension as it is, with our two, so I think it would be a load off everyone's mind if you and Elisa could—
I'll certainly do what I can.
These past 2 weeks have really flown by, haven't they? It's funny, I went into this thinking combat practice would be the toughest part of the— Never would have guessed the academic side of things might give it a—
Well, strong in body and mind is pretty firmly embedded. I do get what you mean, though. I figured I'd be able to coast through the year, but I've had to very quickly reevaluate that.
You too, huh? I wish I were as smart as Machias or Emma. They don't seem to be— But then, Emma got the top score on the entrance exam, and I'll bet you anything Machias wasn't for—
I'm sure. Eustace and Elisa are apparently doing really well, too. As are Laura and Gaius.
Really? Guess I'm just gonna have to— Though I really do hope they don't—
Huh? I'm not—
Oh, sorry. You got me thinking about you. I've been talking to them the same way I talk to everybody else, but— And Eustace's family rules over the whole eastern side of the Empire, so it kinda feels like I should address them.
Well, they both said it was okay. So, though you probably shouldn't go picking fights with Eustace every chance you get.
Oh, I'd hoped they'd get along a bit better over time, but if anything, things seem to be spiraling downhill fast. When the two of them are in the same room, there's just this—
It's not all Machias either. Eustace seems to enjoy provoking him at every opportunity. I can't even imagine what it would take to make them see eye to eye at this point.
Yeah, I wish there was something we could do to help them get along. And that's where we'd be if we weren't in Class 7. Dormitory number 2, for all the common—
Yeah, I'm still kind of shocked that Class 7 gets to have it. Though, to be fair, I think that building was abandoned till this year.
Well, they did a good job. I just wish it were a little closer to—
Hey, you're in our way.
Ah. is something...
You're just a ragtag bunch of nobodies. Come on.
Yes, Patrick! A word of advice. You might be part of a special class, but that doesn't change who you are.
So they're from one of the upper classes. This is why I hate talking to them.
Unfortunately, that attitude is all too common among the nobles. Thank goodness Lauren used it.
Yeah. That's the infamous dormitory number 1, where it's supposed to be super fancy inside, with maids and...
Wow, really? Guess that's our cue to pick up the pace.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, hey, have you picked out a club to join yet? Doesn't sound like you have to or anything, but it's probably a good way to meet people.
No, I'm still looking.
Stand, bow, be seated.
As I'm sure you're all well aware, the Erebonian Empire was driven to the brink of collapse roughly 250 years ago. This was brought about by the conflict we know, a civil war lasting several years. But of course, I'm not here to tell you that, if I were. Rather, I'd like to discuss the effects this had on the Empire as members of the aristocracy were drawn into the war. Many hired mercenaries turned to looting and pillaging, and a similar trend could even be seen among some of the knights. The land was left utterly devastated, and morale was at an all-time low. But then, lo and behold, into this nightmare stepped a man willing to take a stand against this bloody war of succession. He was a wandering prince who began to rally forces from the outskirts of the empire, and would go on to make quite a name for himself. And that name, of course, he would later become known as Dreikel's the Light. Not to mention the founder. Dreikel's army was initially but as he traveled across the empire, now, the place where Emperor Dreikel... Reen Schwarzer, would you care to tell the class?
Nice work, everyone. You made it through another grueling day of classes. In case you've been living under a rock, please don't forget that tomorrow is your first free day. It's not technically a day off, but there are no classes, so it's up to you what to do with your time. Why, you could go shopping in the capital if you wanted to. Or just do what I do and sleep all day. Sleep is so wonderful.
Will the Academy's facilities still be open for our use?
Yes, I'd like to be able to use the free study area in the library myself.
Of course! This school shuts down for no one, so feel free to patronize any and all facilities as you like. A lot of clubs have meets scheduled for these free days as well, so anyone who's joined one should probably check on that.
I see.
I'll be certain to do so.
Also, before you leave, we should go over what's happening next week. On Wednesday, you all have your practical exam.
A practical exam?
What does that entail exactly?
It's part of your combat training. You'll be graded on your performance, so make sure you're well rested and ready for battle by then. Might be a good idea to do some training on your own time, too, just to keep from getting rusty.
Interesting.
I definitely don't...
Oh, and one more thing. After the practical exam is over, about a major part of Class 7's curriculum that
What? Here it comes.
So, whatever you choose to do on your free day, that concludes today's homeroom.
Yes, instructor. All rise.
should be the Student Union building. I know the cafeteria is on the first floor, but I...
Hey there, first year. How's it going? Academy life been treating you?
Oh, yeah, it's not easy, but Though I have a feeling it's only going to get harder from here on out.
Of course it will. Your class is going to be more intense than the others, too. But you just hang in there, okay?
Okay. Wait. You're a second-year student, aren't you? Do you mind if I ask your name?
Hey now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First things first, how about you let me show you this cool trick I've been practicing?
Trick?
You got a 50 mirror coin I can borrow?
I think so.
Cheers. All right.
What?
Now, which hand is the coin in?
It's in your...
Too bad.
Guess you win. I'm usually pretty good at following... Though, wait. You said this was...
You catch on quick.
Huh?
Keep up the good... You're gonna need to be pretty tough to get through a year with Sarah as your instructor. Oh, and, the student council room is on the... See you around.
Wait! Andy seemed to know I was heading to the student council room. I haven't met many of the second years yet. Oh well. At least, though, if it really is open late, I guess there's no real rush.
Come in.
I recognize that voice. Pardon the... Oh, you're...
It's been about to... Welcome to the student council room. Instructor Sarah sent you.
Yes. So, you're a member of the student... I wonder if she got moved up a few years. She...
Is something...
Oh, I'm sorry. I would...
I am, but there's no... The name's Toa Herschel. I'm the student council president.
President?
Uh-huh. I'm sure I'll have plenty of opportunities to interact with you and the other... So if there's anything you need help with, you just come and let me know. I'll do everything in my power to make it better.
Thank you. She's seriously the student council president? So, is because you're holding on to something for class 7?
Oh, of course. Here you go. Yours is the one on top.
Let's see. Oh, our student notebooks.
I'm really sorry it's taken so long. Class 7's curriculum is pretty... And you're even using a different kind of battle orbment. So yours had to be compiled...
Meaning these notebooks have information...
The Arcus, yes. All the student notebooks double as instruction manuals for their company, and the other first years are all using the same type as last year. But the archetype you're using works quite differently, so we had to write a whole new set of directions from scratch.
Okay, that makes. But wait.
Pretty much just me, Instructor Sarah, which means it's my fault this has taken so long.
Oh, no. If anything, is that really part of the student? It seems more like something our instructor should be handling herself.
Technically, you're right, but she's always. And I help out the other instructors a lot too, so I don't mind lending her a hand from.
What a nice person. Maybe a little too nice for her. So you just need me to give these to the other students?
Yes, please. I really appreciate what you've all.
Huh? What do you mean?
I heard all about it. She said you've agreed to help out the student council with. It's such a nice gesture. You're really getting Class 7 off to a. Didn't you tell her that you wanted to help ease up something about wanting to better yourselves? To prove you, she said you were all really eager to help out.
Thank you, my dear. I leave everything.
Why, indeed?
I'm sorry. Oh, how embarrassing.
There's no way I can. No. Instructor, your plate is as full as I've seen.
Phew. I thought there. But don't worry, it'll mostly just be fulfilling requests from people in the.
Requests?
Yep. Sometimes people send in feedback and list things they'd like us to do for them. And we try to help out however we can. I'll pick some up for you to do by the end of the day. And drop the list in your mailbox at your dorm tomorrow morning. Will that be okay with you?
Sure thing. Dusk already? Can't believe she wound up treating me to dinner and she's still got more student council work to do yet.
Guten Tag, my favorite little Wunderkind. I hear you had a nice little dinner.
If this is how you treat your favorite little Wunderkind, would you care to explain why you've been signing me up for things?
I'll skip the details for now, but it's got something to do with the other part of your curriculum that I thought it'd be a good chance for one of you to do a little rehearsal before the main event. And since the student council truly is busy, I figured, why not kill two birds with...
I have a feeling half the reason they're as busy as they are is because of certain instructors. But alright, I'm happy to play along. Basically, you just want me to spend my free day tomorrow helping the student council, right?
Oh, that's entirely up to you. If there's a club you're interested in joining, far be it from me to force you away from it.
No, to be honest, I still haven't found one. There is one question I'd like to... Why me? This seems like the kind of task typically entrusted to the class president, and even if you were choosing based on social class, so what makes me?
Well, in a sense, you're effectively at the center.
Pardon?
I'm not saying you're its leader, of course, but in a class full of nobles, commoners, and exchange students, surely even you can see that.
Well...
That's why I decided to give you. First, I wanted to get an idea of how things might go from here on out. There's never been a class like yours before, after all. So there you have it. The beans have been spilled all over the place. Ball's in your court now.
Wait, what do you...
Beer. It's the weekend and I'm stuck wasting away in my room, imbibing libation. If only I had a classy gentleman friend who'd go out drinking with me. But woe of woe. Never better. But you, instead of trying to put everything in its place, why don't you just... It seems like you're desperately trying, but if you don't plant yourself somewhere, you're just gonna blow away with the next big gust that comes along. Make sure you're back in the dorm by curfew.
If I don't plant myself somewhere, huh? She may have a few screws loose, but she's got a point. Maybe I should just try going with the flow and see what comes of it.
you